Well, hello, everyone. It's James Burgess, the author of the international best-selling book, Chaos, How Business Leaders Can Master the Power of Focus. I'm delighted to be here today with you to provide a detailed training, if you will, on LinkedIn as the most effective networking opportunity that will actually generate revenues. Actually, that just surprises me still as I say it, that will actually generate new revenues for your business. Now, the first question you should be asking is, well, why is James shooting this? And I will share with you, it's because lately, certainly during COVID-19, I have been approached over and over and over again about how, as a business owner, can I get in front of my target audience if I can't network live? And I'm going to show you how LinkedIn is that solution. And let me take it even further and suggest to you that, in fact, even before COVID-19, live networking was dead. You just didn't know it. And it will remain dead after COVID-19 has been resolved. And so you might very well ask them, why was I doing it and why were so many others doing it? And it's because you don't understand, you've never crunched the numbers. Let's quickly do that just for a moment. Assume it's a 4-hour experience going to a networking event. Time to get there, time for the event itself, and time to get back to your business. Let's say it's 4 hours. Now, if you charge yourself out to the company to your company at $500 an hour, which is the bare minimum you should evaluate your time, you should value your time at, then 4 hours times $500 is $2,000 for a networking event. Now assume that you sell a $2,000 program or service. Then for every networking event, you need to close a client just to cover your opportunity cost of having been there. So if you network once a month, just once a month, that's $24,000 in networking opportunity cost, the cost of you being somewhere when you could be somewhere else earning revenues, and having to close 12 clients in that year, one a month, just to cover the expense to the business of having you as the owner be there. And I have yet to meet a business owner who can suggest to me for any in the slightest way, that they have gotten a client out of every single networking event worth $2,000 or more to them to cover their costs. It just doesn't happen. And that's the math reality, the revenue reality of live networking. There is rarely a payback, because when you go to a networking event, typically if you are looking for professionals or business owners with revenues of $500,000 to $1 million to $5 million to $10 million to $50 to $100 million, they aren't there. They're in their office still, working with their employees, with their customers, with their systems to earn more revenues and create a better work and client experience. They're not out networking. And so you go to a 7 o'clock breakfast, up at 5, you commute to the breakfast event, you drink cold coffee in small cups with cold eggs and greasy sausage and undercooked bacon, to talk to people that are life insurance agents, real estate agents, with all due respect to all of them. I love them. You're just not my target audience. And I suspect for many of us as business owners, they're not our target audiences. And they tend to want to talk more about themselves than take an interest in us. Bankers. I said real estate agents. I said life insurance, multi-level marketing system sales associates. Not small, micro small, not for profits. Incredibly important. And I will take an interest in them. I just don't see them again as being my perfect customer, right? My perfect customer I know over the years because I was a networking fiend. I was a networker on steroids, and I rarely made contact with a client over the course of follow-up discussions with any of them. On the other hand, LinkedIn, I am constantly making business friendships that are meaningful. And what I want to show you today is how you do that. So imagine the opportunity to network when you want, with whatever kind of coffee you want, hot and big, sitting right beside you if you need it, and talking to your perfect, let me say that again, your perfect target prospect. Or let's call them a suspect. And through the course of this video, I'll show you how you convert them from a suspect to a prospect and the opportunity to then convert them into a revenue-paying client. Really cool. When you want, to some extent how you want, with certain parameters on the best way to do it. And with, again, if you that hot coffee, any way you want to make it, big and bold if you need it, sitting right beside you, and you're having fun, right? Because you're having true engaging conversations. Okay, that's the why we want to be doing it. Now, the how is really, really important. So what's the primary objective of a marketing system into LinkedIn? Many of you will think it's to sell, sell, sell. It's not. You know what? If I was to put it into one word like sell, I'd say it's to love, love, love. Love the other person on the side of the conversation. Care about them. Make it about them, not you. When you do that, they will open up. They will respond to you. You can have a meaningful dialogue that may open up to you buying their service or them buying your service. So let's change the mindset of why we're in LinkedIn from sell, sell, sell to something completely different. Love, love, love. Okay? Have conversations in LinkedIn like you're standing in the backyard with a beer or a wine or a Caesar, whatever your favorite cocktail is, bottle of water because you just finished cutting the grass perhaps, and your neighbors on the other side of the fence having their favorite beverage after they've done some work. And you're having a chit-chat. That's how we work. Best practice, according to James Burgess in Focus 31, that's the style of conversation you want to have in your mind when you step into a marketing system within LinkedIn, okay? Make it about them, not about you. So the primary objective is to connect, advance a conversation, move to an offline conversation by way of telephone or preferably a virtual meeting solution like I'm using here with Zoom, and then you can sell or at least qualify in the first 15 to 30 minute conversation, build a rapport, qualify them as a potential or qualify them as potentially a supplier to you, and then follow up, get agreement to a follow-up call where you can then sell. How cool is that? So then what's the step-by-step way of doing it? Well, there are several. The first is the free way, not as in a highway, but the free way of building pipeline in LinkedIn. I will share with you also a paid way to do it even more effectively later in the video. So stay with me, please. Don't stop and start. You need all of this at once so you can begin to process the thinking. It's going to take a while. This may be 30 minutes. I don't know. Okay, as I said, I'm doing this fast, and I want to cover all the bases for you. So Step one is your profile page. Is your profile page a picture of who you and your business are? Does it stand the test of communicating brilliantly and in a compelling fashion what you are all about? I'll argue that 90% of the time, it's not. So first things first, you see the banner? Most of you probably have that ugly blue speckled white LinkedIn template banner on your site. Man, I am tired of seeing that ugliness. Please, your first step, get someone to design a background banner for you. Mine was created by my own operations team in the Philippines. They did a great job. The Focus Accountability System protocol for business planning is our front and center service, and the image is the model and how it works. Okay? At the very least, it catches your attention. So that's the first thing. Create a branded image consistent with your website, consistent with your business page on Facebook, consistent with your Twitter account, consistent with your YouTube account. Make them all look like they are the same store your visitors are stepping into. Great. Step two, look at your profile image. You want it to be professional and high resolution so that it can be converted and used in other places other than just LinkedIn. Preferably waist to shoulder height, not full length. And if you're gonna do, if you're going to do a full length, get your feet and shoes in, okay? But really that's too far away to get a real sense for who you are. So we want an up-close headshot for the most part. Step three, have your name, obviously it needs to be your name, and your summary of what's special about you clear and enticing. You have many characters that you can use. You can see mine: author, speaker, global business planning expert, founder Focus 31, creator of the Focus Accountability System protocol, North American Director, Professional Services for Sonity, and virtual COO for IGD Global Inc. What that is simply a synopsis of my resume that follows later on the page, plus adding in author and coach. So get that to be enticing without being funky. I see some funky stuff. I don't mind it. It certainly prompts the desire to ask some questions. At the same time, make it a nice synopsis of who you are. All right? Step three, the about section. This is like the about on your website. We want to know about you, okay? And there's lots of content you can put here. I'm not going to go through all of this, okay? But tell people, frankly, if you've got a good about page on your website, cut and paste, don't cut it, excuse me, copy and paste it over here and just add it in, okay? Always make it, invariably when you do it, you're going to notice that there's something out of date on your website. So the key is also keep this information current. I've just been retained as the virtual CEO for IGD Global, and it's already on my site. And I already have, 21 messages where people are invariably saying, congratulations on your new position. Well, that's an opportunity for me to start 21 conversations. And this number is going to probably grow to about 500 just because I put this contractual arrangement that I have with Pamela Gorey and IGD Global Inc. onto my LinkedIn profile as a new position, which it legitimately is. It's a contracted position because it's a virtual COO. Okay? It gives me the opportunity to start over 500 conversations. So make sure your about reflects what you and your company do. Part 4, I think I'm up to, Make sure that whatever positions you have also have some great content. All right, this is Managing Director, Focus 31. It's first because it is first and foremost the position that I retain day after day after day. I've got the Virtual Chief Operating Officer I've just added, and I've also got this position with Sonity, which is so I said that this was, I'll just do an aside here. I said that this was a manual LinkedIn marketing system. There are opportunities for all of you to buy a automated LinkedIn marketing system that will send the invitation, that will initiate the campaign conversation with new connections up to a certain point, at which point you then take over, or they may even be able to book an appointment for you. I'm working with Sonity, a company out of Malta, who has created what I think will be the preeminent automated marketing solution for LinkedIn. It's going to be brilliant, and it will be available within the next 30 to 45 days. If you're interested in knowing more about it, be happy to have a chat with you. Just email me at james@focus31.com or PM me in whichever platform you're reviewing this video from. Okay? So have the information current and tell people about the company and your role in this section here. Some of it will be a repeat of your about, and that's okay because you don't know where people are going to look for certain. And so go ahead, repeat it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel for each of these sections. Okay? So let's just to recap on the profile page, get the banner, high-res image of yourself from the waist or the shoulders up, a headshot as they say. Get your about built out fully. Use all the space LinkedIn gives you as long as it's relevant and you're not carrying on. And then make sure that your resume of actual jobs is current and that there is information. The number of times I see business owner, ABC Printing, and that's it. Okay, well, maybe ABC Printing is fairly self-explanatory. I kind of know what they do. What's their value proposition against every other print shop, including against Staples? That's what they should be including in their about on the company side of it, right? Don't just leave it ABC Print. That just doesn't tell us anything interesting at all about you. So those are the keys. Now, for some of you, after your about, there's a really cool area called featured. Featured. So it's another banner between your about and activity. LinkedIn hasn't been kind enough to allow me to have that particular section yet. In there, you can put publications, images, branded logos of your programs, and you can talk about them. You can give links to where people can go to get it. It's a really cool section, just a fantastic marketing section. I've complained to LinkedIn, and I'm waiting to hear their response as to why someone who is as involved in LinkedIn as I am has not been graced, if you will, with the featured section. All right? So that's what's key. Make this an enticing landing or sales page. End of story. Cool. Okay. So then once you've done that, what do you do next? Well, pretty simple. You go and start inviting people to connect with you. All right? Who do you invite and how do you invite them? Well, the first exercise before you even step into LinkedIn is to come to terms with who is your perfect client. Look back over your past clients. You will find some consistencies around who your perfect customers are. For example, it's fascinating to me that in the last 3 years, the Focus 31 portfolio of clients is 80% women. And so naturally, if I take that, for whatever reason, I connect, I won't say better, women connect better with me because men have got, sorry guys, but I beat up on you all the time in my seminars. We have the stupid hormone called testosterone that convinces us that we have all the right answers and we don't need help from anybody. Whereas women who will own the world in due course understand and respect that if they want to be successful, they will need resources to help fill in what they don't know. And they are far, far, far more prepared to engage with reliable resources to help them be more successful. And so as a result, as I said, 80% of my clients are women, and I will continue to love to work with women because it's just an amazing experience for both of us. So you gotta, and I'll be happy to send an exercise to anybody who wants to do that analysis of who their perfect customer is. You gotta understand that your customer is not everybody. If you take that approach, then your marketing will be spray and pray, and you will make your marketing just won't work. You've got to get very focused on a single profile, an avatar, if you will, of who your perfect customer is, or 2, 3, or 4 groups of perfect clients that you approach differently because the same messaging won't work with all of them. Okay? So let's assume for a moment that Focus 31 wants to connect with business owners, women business owners, business women owners between the ages of 40 and 55. Well, what I can do for free is click on my network. Remember, this is a free solution for all of you to begin with. And LinkedIn is really, really nice. Excuse me, I'm going to end up clicking some stuff by accident. LinkedIn is really, really nice to tell me people that I may be interested in connecting with. The days of having to know the person are gone. It used to be you either had to say we both worked. It was very much resume oriented. You either had to identify that you worked with the person or that they were a client and they knew your business, or you had to have their email in order to connect with them. Those days are gone. In fact, what LinkedIn does is look at who you're connected to and shows you everybody that they're connected to and suggests you might want to reach out and connect with them because they still use the expression, you may know them. And so LinkedIn has all kinds of leads for you. Now, not all of them. Some of them are leads to follow. Look at all these connections I have. Holy cat, they're potential connections. Some of them are follows. I suggest that you just ignore the follows. You can gather information from really cool people if you want to later. This is about earning revenue. They also show you some interesting things to subscribe to. Skip over that part, okay? And scroll all the way down past all their marketing and everybody else's marketing and get to, my goodness, goes on and on and on and on. I will get there. Oh, there's some groups you can join too. Okay? More suggestions for you is where you want to get to. So at the top there are suggestions, and then after you scroll all the way through, at the bottom are some suggestions. Now, you might think as you look at my page here that there's only 4, 8, 12 suggestions. Oh, no, 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 my friends. There's 4 more. And as the page ends, look, a whole nother bunch populates in. And as I scroll down, another bunch pops in. And the really cool thing is I can look for a woman, okay? Now, she's a mortgage advisor, not my target. Oh, she's with my former employer, CIBC. Not my target audience, so I'm going to skip past her. I'm going to look here in the profile headline for people that are women, from their pictures are seemingly in the age group that I want, and where their title suggests that they are a business owner. And I'm going to connect. I'm just going to click the connect button. Now, just again, to emphasize the importance of having your picture, of these 8 profiles, who would you likely not connect with? Yeah, the one without a picture. Just something about it, right? And I think Steve looks like he's sitting at a cocktail party, and with all due respect, Steve, maybe not the best choice. You can see where the reasonably professional images are, and where some have been done in front of a computer, which I don't agree with. and some are misaligned. Make it show up professionally in your profile. And then just go through and connect with people that are seemingly in your target audience. Now, when your account is free, there are some limits. There are limits on how many invitations you can send out. LinkedIn doesn't tell you the limit. If you exceed it, they just shut you down and slap your wrist and make you validate later on who you are when they're ready to let you back in again, okay? I recommend if you're on a free account, you really not exceed 10 to 12 invitations a day. And I'd suggest, well, for 10 or 12, you're fine to do them all at once. If you want to test that limit, don't do them all the time at 9 o'clock. The automated marketing systems, the bots, try not to look like us as people. And people have got to not look like bots, because LinkedIn will invariably make mistakes. Plus, if you're in the free account, the way LinkedIn can encourage you to buy up and pay for a service that they offer that's more effective is to limit how many invitations you can send out. So typically 10 at some point in the day, and if you're going to do more than 10, stage it out across the day. Now, the other thing about the free account is when you click connect, you're stuck with LinkedIn's standard template invitation. Better than nothing, and it's not particularly enticing. Say it again. It's better than nothing, and it's not particularly enticing. But for the majority of people, it just doesn't matter. And so if you send out 50 to 60, and you can do this on the weekends too, so 10 every day of the week, you can easily send out 70 invitations a week. Not everyone will reply. Just come to terms with it, okay? Especially if you're using the standard LinkedIn. When you pay for Sales Navigator, for example, you can customize the invitation and make it more enticing to have people want to join you. And you get a higher return on the number of invitations that are sent and the number of people that accept you. Okay, so define your target audience and look through the recommendations that LinkedIn gives you for free. Find the ones that best look like your target audience. Connect with them at a pace of 10 or so a day. Again, you can test the limits. I wouldn't go much past that though. Every day or 5 days a week, and you can vary the times and get the invitation out using the standard LinkedIn template invitation. Okay. I'm just going to stop the computer for a moment because I want to open up some other areas of LinkedIn so that we can carry the conversation. I'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back, although I suspect none of you actually left. I just left for a moment to think about how I'd approach this next section. So, as I said, just to recap, we want to be on LinkedIn because we can get in front of our target audience when we want, how we want, with the messaging that makes sense to our perfect prospect, and we can do it with that great hot cup of coffee or tea or any other beverage we want to use to build our network of business friends. And that's perspective. As I said before, we don't want to sell, sell, sell. We want to love, love, love. Build business friendships as if you're talking over the fence with a neighbor, all right? And to do that, we have to be enticing on our profile page, and that involves looking at our banner, our personal image, our summary of who we are, the about page, and the about our experiences. And if you have the section called featured, make use of it for marketing purposes. When you're in a free account, you're limited to how many invitations you can send out. And with a free account, you will look at what LinkedIn recommends to you and look for people by looking at their summary of their profile to begin with, and thereafter where you think it might be somebody. If you need to, go in and look more more deeply at their profile, and you simply select the connect button, which sends in a free account the standard invitation template. Okay, there's the front end. Now, oh no, a bunch of people say yes. Look, I've got right now my team in the Philippines has 5 invitations that have come in to us to make a decision on whether or not we want to accept. And the new ones, you will get a notification if you send out an invitation and someone accepts, and many will, you'll get a notification from LinkedIn that so-and-so is a new connection. So what you do then, and what my team in the Philippines does then, is send message number 2. The invite's gone, and now they copy and paste out of a Word doc our second message. And the second message is just an acknowledgement. We are not going to sell. Hey, Sally, it is terrific that we are now connected here on LinkedIn. I hope this will be a game changer for both of our businesses. Thank you so much for connecting with me. By the way, as a free gift, here is the copy of my international best-selling book, Chaos: How Business Leaders Can Master the Power of Focus. You can get it here at chaosthepoweroffocus.com. I'm told it's a great book. Enjoy the read. James. No selling. Just an acknowledgement, a thank you, and a free gift. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the secret sauce, the gift. How often have you received a gift and ignored the gift? We always, in some fashion or another, with friends and family, when we receive a gift, or we get a discount as a gift from a retailer in some fashion or other, we invariably say thank you. When I share my book link, I get thank you for sharing. Hey, that's really cool. This has never happened before. Oh my goodness, how wonderful of you to share this wonderful book with me. I can't wait to read it. All of the above have occurred. Now, would I love them to actually go to my site and download the book? Sure I would, because then they end up in a slow drip campaign that continually provides interesting information to them while it's also selling our services to them. And I don't care if they don't. What I care about is warming them up to the idea of just saying thank you. Because the thank you is an opportunity, the thank you represents a slight opening of the door towards a conversation. If nobody accepts my invitation, I won't talk to them, obviously. If I send my welcome to my profile, great that we're connected, and here's my free gift, if they don't reply, I don't care. I care for the people who take the time to say thank you to my gift, because they are showing me a willingness to engage in a conversation. And so typically I will reply with, hey, Sally, you're more than welcome. Now I will look at their profile, and I will see that they're a business owner. And I may see something about their business owner, but typically my team in the Philippines can simply copy and paste another message. Hi, Sally, you're more than welcome. I'm told it's a terrific book for business owners just like you who may want to double or triple their revenues in 12 to 18 months, period. New paragraph. Is that an objective you have for ABC printing? Question mark. In 2020, 2021, question mark. James. Didn't sell. Made it about that. I explained the book, why it could be powerful to them, and then I asked a question about them. Again, many won't answer. Fine. I only want to talk to the ones that do answer. And if they say yes, I continue the conversation, getting to their ability to understand how to do it. If they say no, I quizzically ask, well, why not? And invariably keep the conversation going. And it's through that back and forth 3 or 4 times that invariably I will get to the point of saying to them, you know what? it sounds like you've got a terrific business. I'd like to know more about it. I may have some ideas that can help you, enable you to double or triple those revenues in 12 to 18 months. Let's jump on a Zoom call. What do you say? Yes or yes/no question mark. They say no, conversation over. Okay, great. All the best. Good luck getting there on your own. Love you, right? If they say yes, we book into our calendars and I send a Zoom link and we get on a 15 to 30 minute qualification call. It's that easy. And it doesn't happen with everyone. But for the time it takes to send a connection request and the time it takes to send a thank you message for connecting and the time it takes to respond to that thank you, their appreciation of the connection, and start the conversation using copy and paste from a Word doc where you've got preset conversations all set to go, the number you could do in that 4-hour period that you're giving to live networking where your target audience isn't there is absolutely night and day. Lots will not reply. That's understood. We only want to talk to the ones that do. And periodically, I'll even make a diary note if I think it's a really great conversation that's underway. I'll make a diary in my calendar to say, did Sally reply? And I'll go, when that diary comes up, I'll go and see if she did or didn't. And if she didn't, I may prompt her one more time with another piece of information. Okay? Now, the sauce is the gift because, as I said, rarely will anybody not respond to the idea of a gift. The gift has another word that I use at Focus 31. We call it an attraction marketing device. Some call it an incredible complimentary offer. It's a giveaway. Now, the best giveaway is certainly a real book in PDF form. Okay? Lots of our customers have not written their book yet. And what we do for them, or encourage them to do of their own accord, is create their own special sauce attraction marketing device. Let's generically call it a special report. And it's a heavily branded 5 to 10 pages, maybe with a worksheet, but consider one we just did recently. Avoid renovation disasters. 10 secrets to a stellar renovation. Now, of course, this is the AMD of an interior designer. If you'd like it, by the way, I'll happily send it to you. If you want to know how to avoid renovation disasters. Avoiding renovation disasters, 10 secrets to a stellar renovation. There's a reason why it says stellar. I can't share that with you in this public video. So, what we then did was we presented the 10 secrets with just a few sentences to explain each of them. We had calls to action throughout the document. We had a worksheet where the owner of the home who had downloaded the special report could go walking around and actually engage in the secrets, checking their roofing, checking their plumbing, checking their lighting, whatever the prompts were in the worksheet. It's really, really powerful. And we don't care whether they go to the website and download it or not. All we want is the thank you for sharing to allow us to start the conversation. So if you do not have an attraction, and it doesn't need to be a document. It could be a video. It could be a questionnaire. It could be a free assessment. Anything you can give for free and offer it into LinkedIn as a direct download, or point people to a page on your site to go and get it. Perfect. Okay? Anything you want to do in that fashion. If you don't have any ideas, let's talk about it. All you got to do is send me an email, james@focus31.com, and in the subject line say, I need help, AMD. I'll know exactly where it came from and what we need to be talking about. It's not as hard as you may be thinking. And as I said, it is the secret sauce to getting conversations started, because nobody receives a gift without responding to it. Or if they do, they're just not people we want to talk to anyway. Or if they don't, they're just not people we want to talk to anyway. Okay. So we've sent invitations out. They've come and looked at our landing page. We've enticed them into saying yes to the invitation. We've sent them the thank you, and now they've replied, and now we're into a conversation where you want to advance the conversation by kind of scraping away at any pain you can find or source that relates to your solutions and prompt them into a Zoom call. Can't get into that kind of detail in this video. That's really customized for each individual business. Happy to share with you one-on-one in a free consultation anytime you'd like. Now, here's the other really cool thing. Some people will find you and come to you and ask and will request to connect with you. These 6 or 7 that are right here on my page now, I guess that's 5. Oh no, show more. That's where I had a few more. Oops, so show less. Sorry, I take that back. It is 5 people. They're asking to connect with me. And what I used to do in the olden days, 5 years ago, I just accept, or decline, ignore if I didn't like the country that they were connected with, right? Or I didn't care for their business or their employment. That's a waste of time. That's just a numbers game, a number grab. You know, to get above the all-important 500, after you get past 500, who cares? You're not competing with anybody but yourself. And getting more connections is not where the money is. The money, you can make more money on a single connection than on adding 100 more and never talking to them. So when we accept a new connection, my team in the Philippines says, hey, wonderful, John. I'll just go with the first one here. So happy you asked to connect. We're more than happy to do that, to do that, right? And by the way, it carries on, second paragraph. By the way, was there a particular reason you wanted to connect with us? Question mark. Start the conversation. The majority of inbound invitations that you receive, when you put that back to them, they are typically answered. And now you've got their front of mind rationale for connecting with you. Maybe it's a need. Typically, of course, it's because they're doing what you're going to be doing, looking at the recommendations LinkedIn gave you, and connect. When you get asked that question, don't be so foolish as to say, well, LinkedIn made the recommendation, so obviously we've got lots of connections in common, thought I'd be one of them. That's not starting a conversation, and it serves no purpose whatsoever. You're going to be better than that. You're going to have a great response when somebody asks you, why did you want to connect? Okay, look at their profile, give a custom answer. By the way, I realized just now, I haven't shared with you our custom invitation, which you can't use yet, but just to show you what the possibilities are, our outbound invitation is, hi, Sally. I'm looking to connect with forward-thinking business owners and leaders in the Greater Toronto Area. Your profile suggests you're just that person. I'd love to connect. L-O-V-E, all in caps. Guys, I have to tell you, I used to keep the word love. I was insistent with myself that love would never work its way into a business conversation. No way, no how. I was wrong. It belongs in the conversation because selling effectively comes from the heart, from caring about the other person. So break down your barriers about that word if you have any and use it. I'd love to connect. I get more comments in return when the people accept my invitation, how nice of an invitation it was, that I know I'm right, that it works. And then I just sign my name. I'm looking to connect with forward-thinking business owners and leaders in the Greater Toronto Area. Your profile suggests you fit that you're that person, period. New line, I'd love to connect, James. That's the power of having Sales Navigator, a paid program of LinkedIn versus the free. The free just says, I don't even know what it says. It's been so long since I've used it. So when you get an inbound, accept it, and then ask them, why did they want to connect with you? Get a conversation started. And when you have your attraction marketing device, follow up the next day with, hey, by the way, John, now that we are connected, I really hope this will be a complete game changer for both of our businesses. And for just doing so and taking the initiative, here's my free gift. Free copy of my book, your ICO, your attraction marketing device, your assessment, your quiz, whatever it is. No selling in that. All we want to get is the thank you. We do not sell in LinkedIn, right? Okay. So that's the free offer plus a little bit of an indication about what Sales Navigator allows you to do, which I'm going to move into right now. If you have any questions, again, you'll hear me emphasize, have a Word document, copy and paste. And when you come up with a new idea about how you want to respond to somebody, copy and paste it into that Word document and use it. Get the conversations going. Advance them to an offline, and then refer to chapter 6 of my book, Chaos, where I detail the exercises to create a compelling sales conversation that will close more business. Chapter 6 of Chaos, how business leaders can master the power of focus. All right, lastly, let me just give you a hint about what Sales Navigator is all about. By the way, in my outbound invitation, I say in the Greater Toronto area, you would have heard that. I can shift my market anytime I want to. I can say the Greater Vancouver area. I can say the Greater New York area, San Francisco, Miami, London. I don't speak French. I was going to say very well at all. Sydney, Australia, I can do. So I can shift that invitation depending on what market we're doing our campaign in. Okay, so Sales Navigator, as I said to you, you'll get a free month. By the way, I get no commissions for telling you about this. I just think it's a great, inexpensive way to really focus in on your target audience. So it's $65 US, converts to about 85 a month Canadian, and you get one free month. Don't sign up until you're ready to go. One other caveat, by the way, don't wait to create your free attraction marketing device to get going here. You don't have to have it. Just substitute it with some other really great question about their profile to get them engaged with you. Tell me more about Kodak. I thought you guys, don't know if I was going to say something inappropriate. Tell me more about ABC Printing. Where are you located? What was the trigger to start the business, right? Tell me more about your role as HR. I see you've been in it for 1 year. What have you learned about yourself since you started that role? If you're a coach, for example, all kinds of ways to start a conversation. Be imaginative, relax, get it going. Yes, lots of people will say no. The really cool thing is you don't know when they're saying no unless they give you a thumbs up. Right? If you ask a question and they give you the standard thumbs up out of LinkedIn or a standard thank you, or they just push the button to respond, they're effectively killing the conversation. Move on. I've actually gotten nasty just for fun with a few people and challenged them. One person actually admitted, no, it was a mistake, and we re-engaged, and I think they became a client. So Sales Navigator, $85 a month. So why? Well, let me show you. Because when I pay $85 a month, first of all, I have a much higher limit on on how many invitations I can send and how many messages I can reply to. Much higher. We limit it to 50 a day with my team in the Philippines. I just don't want to come close, although I know of automated systems that do as many as 100 a day. So I suspect the 100 is probably safe. I just like to stay under the safe zone to be extra safe. Okay? Now, I'm not going to, these are all search filters that will allow you to create a list. So let me just show you small business let me just do owner as a keyword search. Okay? And LinkedIn actually prompts you with some other ones you can do. Okay? Geography. Greater Toronto, spell it right, James, Toronto area. Okay? Now, relationship. This is also the really cool thing about LinkedIn. I don't just get stuck with the second degree connections that you're limited to in the free program. I get to reach into the third degrees, which are connections of the people that are connections to my connections. So I'm going down 2 levels rather than just the immediate level. And I can even search in groups a variety of groups that have owner in them. Okay. Now you'll look. already, just based on owner, Greater Toronto Area, second and third degree, there is 149,000. Say that again, 149,000 potential conversations I can start. Wow. It used to be 180, so I've obviously, well, I haven't gotten 50,000 new connections, but I've sent out in the last 2 years 50,000 invitations. I now have almost 12,000 connections. Okay? I've gone from 2,500 3 years ago to over 12,000 in 2.5 years, thereabouts, because I'm tackling this market. And this is just the Greater Toronto Area. Now, 148,000 is still too many. So what you can do if you have an industry expertise is look, maybe you're good in construction. So you click on the construction and now you're down to 11,000. Okay? You might want to, what else could you do to narrow that down a bit? You could actually, now here's the cool thing. So because I put construction, I could choose Ellis Don if I wanted to get specifically into Ellis Don. Now I've got a really, and of course, I wouldn't use owner. I'd use president. Or no, I'd use, SVP, and then I do one for EV. But okay, so if I want to get in contact with SVPs at Ellis Don, 2, great. How targeted is that? Now, it's obviously not a very big sample size, so I want to do it with Ellis Don, and I can do it with all the other guys that were here, Econ and Tridel, et cetera, okay? And if I do all of those day after day after day, I'm going to have a whole lot of invitations out specifically into the construction industry in the Toronto area, okay? So you can use whatever search mechanisms here you want, and then you search the list. Let's go back and take Ellis Don out, and let's take construction out and go back to small business or owner. Okay, we get the 140 now. Now I can search it, and here are the people. And if I want to do women, I can just look at the profile pictures, skip over all the men, and connect. Go into the women, the profiles of the women, and hit the connect button, and I get to customize my invitation to them. Okay, really cool, really cool, with a much higher payback in terms of response rates and conversation starting than the free account. Free account is worth doing in the absence of Sales Navigator, and if you can see your way clear, and I suggest you start there to build the habit, and once you got the habit 30, 60 days in, then get the 30-day free with LinkedIn, with Sales Navigator, get your attraction marketing device ready, and be ready to launch brilliantly, and then make the decision after that 30-day free trial to buy Sales Navigator or not to buy. I think you'll end up buying it because you're going to see really terrific results. Okay, that's what I can share with you from start to finish on a manual LinkedIn marketing strategy, a DIY approach, free first and a quick look at the paid system. The key is we don't sell, we build rapport, show an interest in the people we're talking to as if they're our neighbor, get them interested in us, ask questions at the end of any message we reply to continue the conversation, managing it towards an outcome that we want to be in control of, so that when we get to a Zoom call, we are qualifying them as a potential client and then following up the second time with a potential sale. Or better yet, qualify them immediately and continue on in the same conversation to close them. I really hope this helps those of you that are interested in LinkedIn. Been great sharing it all with you. So much better than Facebook because you see the level of professionalism that your prospect is sitting at, or what their business is about. You can't do that in LinkedIn. and you get to do it when you want, how you want, with that great cup of Joe sitting right beside you. By the way, I'm a tea drinker. However, the majority of people are cup of Joe kind of folks. So it's just that easy. And lots of people just won't. We don't care. We want the ones that will and continue to progress. And my top client in our portfolio right now, I met on LinkedIn and back in August of 2019, and it took us 6 months to get things going together. And now they're going to be my number one client in 2020, 2021, and onward. Absolutely convinced of it. It's so exciting. And I love all of the businesses that I meet, whether we engage or not. Enjoy the opportunity to find out about people and relax and be about them. You know what? I'm done for now. If I can help you in any way with this or any other elements of your business, please reach out to James at Focus 31 to request a free chit chat. 90 minutes to do a deep dive on your business. I guarantee you at least 5 ideas that you can implement immediately that are practical and relevant to your business. And otherwise, talk about LinkedIn. I wish you the best of success, and I can't wait just to receive some emails from you telling you how great you're finding this working for you. Take care. Be brilliant. Be bold. Be a business warrior. Always be selling. Good luck. Bye for now.